Hello and welcome. My name is Christopher Diarmani. Let me just get that correct. There we are. My name is Christopher Diarmani, and I help authors go from blank page to finished first draft to published book with ease. And on Monday, let me bring that other slide back up. On Monday, July 11th, I'm running what's called Unstuck, a free 5-day challenge for Christian nonfiction authors, so you can develop your own roadmap for success and write and finish your book, write and publish your book this year. It's an exciting 5-day thing. It's completely free, and if you're curious about whether it's for you, let me just answer a couple of questions for you. So, is it for you? Are you working on your first or your next nonfiction book? Simple question. Yes, no. Are you finding it challenging to find the time to write? More specifically, are you finding it challenging to make the time to write? Because the reality is, we don't find time to do anything. We make time for the things that are important in our lives. So perhaps if you're not having the time to write, maybe it's because you're not putting it as a high level of importance as maybe you need to. Do you find it challenging to know what to write? This is a really big thing sometimes. And I can't speak for you, but I wish I was a better writer. No matter how far along I get, I always wish I was a better writer. And here's a big thing that stops so many people. Do you feel like the lack of confidence you have in yourself and in your writing makes you a little scared to put your words out into the world? If you answered yes to any of those questions, or all of them, as some days I can, then I would love to encourage you to join me for the free 5-day workshop for Christian nonfiction authors. By the end of those 5 days, you will walk away with a complete roadmap for success. You'll have a detailed outline for your book. You'll know exactly how to structure your writing in every single day. And you'll also understand at a deep, deep level why writing this book is so important for you. Why you sharing your story is something that's on your heart, that is this burning desire just to help someone else who's been through whatever you've been through. If that sounds like you, then at the end of these 5 days, when you show up and you do the success work, you will have a complete roadmap to walk away and write your book and get it published before the end of this year. And yeah, this works even if you have a full-time job, even if you have a family, and especially even if you don't think you can do this. That self-doubt, that imposter syndrome, that feeling like I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, all that stuff, we're going to walk you through how to replace those thoughts with more empowering ones, so you can actually do the thing that you perhaps feel you were born to do. Because honestly, all you need to achieve this dream of writing and publishing your book is the 5 pillars of writing success. So on Monday, we're going to take a deep dive into the writing mindset. What we believe determines our outcome. What we believe, as Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So we want to dive into why you want to write your book. We want to dive into some of the negative thinking, perhaps, that surrounds your thoughts of writing a book. We also want to dive deeply into who is it you're trying to help with your book, because this is an important thing to understand before you start writing it. And then on Tuesday, we're going to talk about the various tools, the tools in an author's toolkit, the tool set. Because especially when you're writing a nonfiction book, there are a variety of things that if you don't know them, it's going to be really difficult to resonate with your reader on the deep, deep level that you probably intend. Then on Wednesday, we talk about skill set. So we're going to talk about the essential writing skills every author needs to know. We're going to talk about ways of developing those skills in quick, simple ways. And one of the fun things is there's a really beautiful way of improving your writing without actually writing a word. And I'll be talking about that during this week as well. Thursday, we talk about time frame, deadlines, and so on and so forth. Because if we don't set a deadline, all we have is a dream. We have some nice vision, perhaps, for our published book, for our life, for whatever. But unless we saddle whatever that vision, whatever that dream is, with a hard deadline, odds are your book is living on someday island, and you want to write it someday, and someday never arrives. We have to put a hard deadline on these things. So we're going to talk a lot about how to build those deadlines so they work for you in your life, no matter how busy you are, no matter what other commitments you have going on, because not every person's life is the same. And I want you to come away from this week knowing that, yes, even in my life, I've got all these things going on, I can still make that time to write every day, because this is really important. And then Fridays, I love Fridays, Fear-Free Fridays. And on Friday, we're going to walk through, because we've done all the work prior, we're going to actually walk through and build your entire outline in one simple 60-minute session. And because you've done all the work prior, this is going to be really, really easy, really fast, and really simple. Super fun stuff. So your roadmaps to success starts right here. If this sounds encouraging for you, then go to christianauthorunstuck.com and sign up. There's no commitment. I want you to show up. I want you to take advantage of the training that I'm offering. And I want you to walk away at the end of this week with this complete roadmap for success. But of course, I can't do any of this for you. You have to do some of the work. You have to show up every day. You have to watch the trainings. And you have to do the success work. None of this is possible. We don't achieve great things unless we actually do a little work to get there, right? But when you do the success work, when you show up, by the end of those by the end of those 5 sessions, you will walk away with a complete roadmap for success. So you will know who you're writing your book for, why it's so important for you, because that's the thing that's going to motivate you through those difficult days. You're also going to know what you want to include in your book, so you're actually appealing to every single different type of learning style and ways of connecting with that. You'll actually know how to fit it into your day, because one of the big things that we do is we track your day. Figure out, where do you have blocks of time that are available? Some days maybe you'll have none, but other days maybe you'll have lots. We'll also talk about things like, what can you give up in order to make that time for writing? And as I said earlier, this will work for you if you show up and if you do the success work, even if you have a full-time job, even if you have kids, even if you don't believe you have what it takes. Because I used to work in the movie industry, and I used to have to work 16 plus hours a day. And writing was really, really important to me. And I still somehow managed to find the day to squeeze in 15 minutes or a half hour every single day, whether that was writing over my lunch break on set, or whether that was getting up a little earlier in the morning, whatever. There was always a way to make that time to write. So if you're committed, then I think this might be a great path for you. But I'm just some random stranger on the internet, right? Why should you listen to me? Well, I've been writing for a really long time. You can probably tell by the color of the hair, I'm not a young man. I've been doing this for quite some time. I wrote my first book in high school, and it was utterly atrocious. I wrote it for an English assignment, and my English teacher, I think he gave pity on me just because of the sheer length of the thing, and gave me a C+. It was really awful. I found it many years later, and I couldn't even get past the first page. But since then, things have gotten a lot better. I've written and published over 45 books. I've had multiple Amazon bestsellers. And as I just mentioned, I spent 15 years in the movie industry learning a whole bunch of different stuff, primarily that I had no choice but to figure out a system to write every day, because it was that important to me, even while I was working, these insane hours and around the clock every single week. But through trial and error over many years, I discovered a system that allowed me to get my books written and published. And I've used this system successfully to help myself publish, as I said, 45 or more books. And I've also used that to help other clients do the same thing, get their book written and published. So this program has a success record, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it all starts with what I want to teach you next week, which is how to design an effective roadmap for success so you can write and publish your book. So, for example, one of the things that I did as part of a challenge with another coach one time, she challenged us to write one book in 90 days. And what I discovered is that I actually had 7 books, shorter books, plus 4 workbooks, and I got them all written and published in 90 days. It was insane. It was like my days were crazy. But the system, what this proved to me is the system works no matter how crazy I want to get with my goals. Last December, I wrote and published my latest Amazon bestseller in 21 days. That was from blank page to published on Amazon. Now, granted, there was work that was done before that trying to clarify my ideas, but the actual writing was 21 days. So, in short, I know how to get a book written. I know how to get a book written fast, and I know how to get a book written really easily. And this is what I want to share with you. It's not that difficult, so long as you're committed to the process. And even if you believe that you can't write a book and publish it in 90 days, I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can. You absolutely can do this, but you need to show up, you need to do a little bit of work, and you need to build a plan for success. And that's what next week is all about. And as the slide says, I can show you how you can do this too. I really can, because been there, done that. So what have you got to lose? That's my big question for you. Are you going to allow your fears and your insecurities to stop you from doing the thing that you know you were born for? Like if you got this book on your heart and you're watching this video, it's because you know you need to get this thing done. You wouldn't be watching this video this far in if this wasn't important for you. But my next question is, will you concede defeat because of your life circumstances or because of your fears? Like you have a busy life, you have a family, you've got a full-time job, you've got all this stuff going on. We all do. We all have crazy busy lives. So I'll take this question in and really be honest in your answer. Are you willing to let another day, another week, another month, or another year slip by without finishing your book? Are you going to leave that book stranded on someday island? Is this dream that you want to do someday? I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is make the empowering decision and follow that empowering decision with courageous action. And I want you to repeat those simple steps until your published book is in your hands. The workshop's entirely free. All you need is the desire to make this the year that you're going to write, finish, and publish your book. You can do this. You absolutely can do this. And I'm going to show you how. So all you need to do is go to christianauthorunstuck.com and sign up. And we'll get started on Monday morning at 10 o'clock Pacific. And it's going to be fantastic. And like I said, if you're watching the video this far in, my bet is something in what I've said has resonated with you. And perhaps it's worth setting the time aside next week for 5 days, for 1 hour, from 10 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning Pacific, to learn how to build that roadmap for success so that you actually can get your book off Someday Island and into the bookstore where you can share your story with the world. So I hope to see you there. If you have any questions, please just message me on this platform or reach out to me through Christian Author Unstuck. That's all you need to do. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you on Monday morning. Bye-bye.
Well, that was good, Dan.